That's why I said that's why I said I haven't seen in a long while, because of wearing face cap. And the questioning can always be imagination, suppose. So why do you want to cross a bridge before you get there? Let me tell you, we have absolute confidence on the person and character and ability of Governor Sim Fubara, which he demonstrated so ably well, even under difficult circumstances, while before the interregnum. And that snap off democracy from the hand of Rivers people. And we have no reason. He has carried himself with so much dignity in the face of harassment. He has shown capacity as a human being. He has shown leadership under harassment and threat and intimidation. And so we are very proud that you check all the character that are the character of the governors of PDP states. There's a line running across them: integrity, capacity, vision, and then dealing with the people as the first point of responsibility. Not aggrandizement, not noise making, not shouting. Because I have said it here and I will say it again, that the fact that someone speaks louder is not a substitute of being well informed. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Today is one of such in the series, and many more will come as we proceed towards Ibadan on the 15th and 16th of November 2025 for the National Convention, which is elective for our party, the greatest party in Africa, and the only democratic party, so to say, in this country today. So this is an update about what we're doing, and then we can have an interactive engagement, and then we can hear you speak to us too, so we can hear more about what we're doing as a party and the state of our nation. You will recall that on the 2nd of September, we inaugurated the National Convention Organizing Committee, and the next day they went into action with the first inaugural meeting. But I can tell you, I can report here that all our party organs, the statutory organs of the party, stakeholders, the chapters and all critical stakeholders, we're all working together towards a seamless and a successful national convention, which is already, as you are very much aware, scheduled for Ibadan on the 15th and 16th of November 2025. At the inaugural meeting of the National Convention Organizing Committee, it was decided, and there was that there were several committees, subcommittees as it were, to help in the planning, and we have about 11 subcommittees ranging from transportation to venue to electoral to logistics to security and so many other, to media and publicity, and all of those that will enable us to have a very successful national convention. That is being populated right now, and we expect that in the next couple of days that will be published. And of course, we will need your partnership as always to help to take that to the Nigerian people about what we're doing in that regard. You recall that in accordance with the NEC decision, wherein zoning of national offices has been approved by the party, and the further directive of that, of the NEC, was that the north and the southern zone should go ahead and microzone. That again is ongoing. The zonal meetings have been held, and of course they will come back to the party and they will take a decision on that. And then that process too is ongoing. In line with our timetable, which of course was approved by NEC. The sale of forms for national offices is ongoing in line with our timetable and schedule of activities for our party towards the convention, and that's ongoing as well. Now, what is very important as we connect to you and then give you this update is the fact that our party, and I'm using the words that you are using along with us, which is becoming more like the sing-song, knowing that the party is organic, knowing that we're very organized, know that we're very democratic, and I'm happy that the press corps is already taking that like an Hallelujah song, that we're organic, we'll repeat it again, that we're very, very democratic, and that we're organized, and that we're truly, we connect to the people, to our parties, and to ensure that whatever comes out of the convention will be such that we put our party in the real and a very solid ground to take over government come 2027. So all of this is towards that goal, because we know that it is the future, the rescue, and the establishment of true democratic principle can only come into this country via the PDP. And so that's why we're making sure that every organ of this party, every stakeholder, the chapters, all interests are being accommodated in the process. And that's why we have that large number of subcommittees. So we have more people to bring in their views and bring in their own suggestions, that at the end we'll have a solid party ready to take on the APC and then re-establish democracy and re-establish good governance in this country. So the outcome of the convention at Ibadan is going to be a very solid party that is poised, having regards to its character in the past. For 16 years, Nigerians remember with nostalgia the performance of this party, where the country was going surely, progressively towards a positive direction. We're going north. But unfortunately, under the APC, the country is going south. You recall some of those high points where under the PDP leadership in this country paid off its debt. Today we're back in debt. We don't even know. Nobody seems to know. And then we have the APC as a government takes lies and propaganda as an act of governance, where you say to us, where the president said about a week ago, gloating before the cameras, that the country has achieved its target, revenue target, as at August. And then you begin to ask yourself, is it voodoo economy? What is the president saying? There's no reality, there's no connection between what he's saying and what we feel in the marketplace. If you've met your target, then it means you're having a surplus. And if there's a surplus, then you should feel it on the people. We can't find that. And so our party, after the convention, will be strong enough, knowing fully well that the PDP knows the art of governance and the fact of the responsibility of government on the people, recognizing that under Section 14, Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution, it is the purpose of government, under Section 2, majorly under the directive principle of state policy, is that the principal purpose of government is the welfare and the security of the people. Both the APC have failed on that. So we're poised to return to government, and that's why we're getting our acts together in a very, like a movement, so that everybody, every member of the party have the same common goal and common purpose, and we're doing that, and we're happy about that. The recalibration of our party in the last few months, about 3-4 months ago, when we begin to put our acts together, has sent in so much jitters to the presidency and, of course, to President Tinubu. And that's why you see the rush and the anxiety to begin to have what we describe as abandonment of governance to early campaigns. Clearly against the Electoral Act. You can see, we are all witnesses to even the frustration of INEC, where they've expressed that, look, this early campaign and then heating up the polity is such that even as regulators, they are worried. But when you have a government that is bent on that, and the reason for these behaviors, because the APC, President Tinubu, they jittery about the way that the calibration of this party and the fact that the PDP that is well known to Nigerians back on the saddle, doing what it knows how to do best, which is reconciliation, getting people together, working together, and getting the outcome of that is they now calibrate to a new level where what they do is to get panicky and begin to do what I call endorsement shopping. The president and his APC are looking for endorsement. If indeed the president is doing well and the APC is succeeding, you let your work speak for you. You don't go to say, come and endorse me. So it is the panic mode, the fact that they're not doing well because they have failed, and they recognize that Nigerians truly know that, yes, this APC has failed the country. So you can say, you can create people, and then all manners of people come in and say, we are endorsing you. Like I said, endorsement is not on the pages of newspaper. Endorsement is in the people, and people that cannot feed their families. Now we're in the school season resumption, people are panicking, and people are complaining because they can't get their money, they can't even pay school fees. That is increasing. Added to the anxiety of the fear of another tax and levies, the infamous 5% tax on every petroleum product that they're saying is coming in January. They constantly putting Nigerians in a panic mode. That can be governance. And that's exactly what the reality we have today. But thank God the PDP is back, fully set, taking the National Convention as its platform to launch it back to Nigeria. And the Nigerians are waiting eagerly. And that's why each time we speak, they're excited. They are anxious to get us back to where we are. Now, if the President Tinubu is doing well, and I'll put that as an emphasis, he will allow his work to speak to the people. He will not need any people to come and tell me I'm doing well. If you're doing well, you know. There's a Latin maxim in laws, it says, lex ipsa loquitur. What is this? The facts speak for itself. If you say to me there's a surplus, you don't need to announce it to me. I can feel it. I can go to the marketplace and buy a thing, I can see it. If you are making more inroads in agriculture, you can feel it. Let's take a comparative analysis of the PDP years under Dr. Additional as Minister of Agri. Rural farmers could, by their phone, get an order for fertilizer. We are all here, and you reported it. Then compare that, because the challenge in Nigeria is that because the government has taken poverty as an act of governance, what they have done is to take people away from the capacity to even reason and remember things. You recall that under the APC government, there was a time here, because they've done so much to this country, the APC as a brand. You recall, during the Buhari years, there was the infamous pyramid of rice, if you remember, which turned out to be pyramid of lies. So the APC is based on the pyramid of lies, and they are continuing. Obviously, this had done better than even the Buhari, because anyway, that was his promise, that he's going to go to, he will continue the policy of Buhari, and he's actually improving. Because Buhari didn't borrow as much as he had borrowed in 1 year. So that is the challenge of governance today. So the panic mode of the APC government and the President Tinubu are signs of a failed government, that you know that your policy is not working. And so what you're going to do to say, look, let's spin it. Let's gaslight it. But it's not working because Nigerians have seen through it. So all the endorsement, all the shopping endorsement, go and get this group, we endorse you. Let your work endorse you. Let your achievement endorse you. Let the Nigerian people say, oh yes, we think our life is improving. Then we can give you a chance. But that's where we are today, and that's why we know the burden of leadership. We know the burden, the expectation of Nigerians on our party. And that's where you can see us methodically, steadily, surely going towards our convention with all determination to succeed. And by that reason, give Nigerians the opportunity and the hope that they truly deserve, not renewed hope or renewed frustration and stress that is being forced on our people right now. Now, this is a very important topic, because in all of this, it is based on having an electoral process that is truly reflective and allowing Nigerian people to freely express their views and their wishes in the ballot box, and that their votes will count and it will be counted. So that puts the INEC right at the spot of this conversation. Now, as a minimum, Nigeria would like to see, and our party will lead the charge on that, that is, that we institutionalize the legal framework for electronic transmission of results from the units. These have become very important so that the confidence of Nigerian people can be restored in the electoral process, and then we can see people who participate. Now, from the statistics, even from the last charade that happened in Lagos in the name of local government election, where even within the APC, they said, no, this is not true. So we want votes to count and to be counted and to reflect the will and the wishes of the people, and the only body that must do that and ensure that Nigerian people and the democracy can continue to thrive here is that INEC must ensure it's a legal framework so that going to court to determine whether this is legal, this is not legal, will be out of the way. It will be a legal requirement that there will be an electronic transmission of election results from the units. And so, being the base level, the foundation for it, it will be difficult to manipulate that because all of us will see it is real time. The challenge is that there seem to be, and from all evidence, like institutional manipulation of our electoral process. And so let's break it down. Today, virtually all of us operate POS. We purchase stuff, right? Banks do that. Even at the local level, you have people that are operating on private basis where you can use a POS to buy things and withdraw cash and money. Now, bank ATMs work virtually in every location in this country. POS works in virtually every location in this country, right? And the volume that a bank handles at a time is unimaginable. They're in thousands, if not millions. So the question will be, why is it that the ATM card will work in my remote village and then the beavers will not work? Those are the questions. So that seems to be that it's institutional, deliberate manipulation to ensure that we manipulate the process. So INEC has a duty here. And the idea of glitches, if there are no glitches on the local POS that a woman selling Coca-Cola or drinks at the polling unit during the election is operating at the same location, and you have a POS for sale of water and all of that thing at the same unit working, and then the beavers that will always buy, in addition to it, a backup battery to ensure that it doesn't fails. So it can only be a manipulation, institutionally managed and triggered. So INEC should know. Nigerians know better now. We as a party are going to take the charge. Nigerians will not listen to any story about a glitch. There must be none. Because the infrastructure in the country today can support, if it can support POS in the remotest part of this country, we do not see why. So INEC should be on notice that the election in 2027 must be seamless, it must be free, fair, transparent, and there must be no glitches, because there will be no glitches, and there must be not, because we as a party will lead the charge in this country to ensure that the process is credible and that any attempt to, again, to abridge the right of Nigerians to choose their own leaders, of course, will be resisted at all times. So all of this validates all the allegations in the public space that these manipulations and sabotage are deliberate, and it's being activated by the APC. I mean, you look at the whole complaint now trailing the registration going on right now, where you're finding figures that are almost impossible. Again, INEC has a duty to Nigerian people, and we hope that they will do that. And then, but we are, as a party, ready, set to go for that convention, ready to lead the charge to ensure that the integrity of our electoral process improves, and of course, and there should be no glitches. It's actually a charge onto INEC. I thank you very much, gentlemen, for listening, and then we can have the conversation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. That the process of appointment must be more broad. I guess these conversations are going on. But beyond that, what we have found in this country is the fact that rather than build institutions, we try to build strong men. And that's the bane of this country. If you have an INEC that is an institution that is based on its principles, and there are guidelines, and there are ways to go, one of which is what I've said, is there are enabling laws that talks about conducting an election. This is what would happen from the unit. It shouldn't have to deal with anybody who is the head of the place. And that's why you find advanced democracies. The institutions will take care of the people that happen to find themselves there, because these are temporary occupants of the position. So we expect that President Tinubu will be guided by these values to ensure that you have an independent INEC chairman that would play by the rules, ensure that there are no glitches in the names of those manipulated by government or induced by government through the agencies. We know, unfortunately today, that INEC is anything but independent. But if we as a people, as parties and stakeholders, the media, speak to the fact that if you want these democracies to survive, one body that is critical to that process will be INEC. And so this is a conversation that will continue, and we will be engaged very actively in having what I call due diligence carried out on whoever is appointed. And we would expect, and this is where it's very important, unfortunately we have challenges with the Senate today, because the APC-led Senate has become almost a department of the presidency, where wherever it comes in, the Senate President said, whatever he brings, we will pass. I wonder if he brings in death warrant, they will pass it as well for anything. However, they are representing Nigerians, and we're going to call them to account. And we will, as a party, working with other partners, with other like-minded Nigerians to ensure that this institution, and particularly we'll be calling and speaking and engaging with our democracy partners. We're not just alone. The EU, the UNDP, other international organizations that are partnering with Nigerians in capacity building, in funding, in financial support. Of course, they need to be interested, because if they're putting their money into something, they should be able to have a feedback mechanism. So we will be part of that. On Rivers, our position from day one was very clear. It was an illegal action. It was almost like how do they call it, for lack of words, and to make it very decent so that we don't even debase our nation. It was like a coup against the Rivers people. They voted for a governor, and you created the situation to harass the governor because of our system. It's a welcome development that is resuming back to his office to continue to validate the will of the people as expressed in the election that brought Governor Fubara to power. And we will continue to get engaged. We have said from day one that it was illegal. The president had no such powers. There were cases in court. The Supreme Court didn't find it exigent enough to put it and list it. But again, we are where we are right now. And so what we're going to do is to get focused on that, get engaged with our governor, let the people of Rivers State breathe again, because they've been suffocated under an illegal. But again, it's all I don't know the absurdity. A thanksgiving of an illegality yesterday on TV, and it's okay. But I haven't said that. It's a welcome development that the people of Rivers State can have. But then the governor, who we know as a peacemaker, a peaceful man, would come back and take the pieces and bring the people of Rivers State together so that they can begin to enjoy the time-tested, known policies of the PDP, which is creating values for people and ensuring that the welfare of the people becomes a priority. And like I always say to you, and I will repeat it again, let's have what I call peer review mechanism between the PDP states and the APC states in this country. You can do that. You can be the judge. From Taraba, you have legacy project to Adamawa, to Bauchi, to Zamfara, to Bayelsa, to Oshun, to Oyo. You find monumental projects that are targeted at the life of people. There are projects that are actually impact on people. That's what we want to do, and that's what we're saying, welcome back to Rivers, back to where they are, which is the science and the ability of the governor and the plan of the governor to reinvent government, which was on hold in the past 6 months.